And good morning, curling fans from the Utica Curling Club. We are here this morning to bring you the final championship game of the U.S. Open International Wheelchair Bonspiel. Today's featured match is Scotland versus Canada. Scotland 5-0, Canada 4-1. They're only lost to Quebec on the week. And looking for a great game here. So with me in the booth this morning is Tim Kelly from Team USA White.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for watching. We've got some good curling coming up.
And Mary Jane Walsh here, my other half. For additional color commentary, helping me out here while I tend to some of the technical duties up here.
Hi, everyone.
We're just about to get started here. And we'll keep you up to date on scores on the other sheets as soon as we know who's got what rock color, so we can fill in the live scoreboard for you.
Right. No Drambuie, no Piper. No,
there's no Piper though. He's been drinking for a while now.
Yeah, okay.
Well, I've got a minute here. Let's introduce the teams. For Team Canada, the lead is Marie Wright from Moose Jaw Ford Curling Center in Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. Curled for 9 years, is retired, 4 daughters, 10 grandchildren, 5 boys and 5 girls. That will keep her busy.
Not much time for curling.
I was going to say, that's the reason to curl maybe, right?
Right.
Second for Team Canada is Dennis Thiessen from the Assiniboine Curling Club in Sanford, Manitoba. Curling 14 years, also retired. And among accomplishments, lots of gold and bronze medals in curling. Wheelchair curling.
Team Canada always seems to be in the finals at the
Yeah.
Paralympics and the Worlds.
Yep.
The third is Ina Forrest from the Vernon Curling Club in British Columbia. Hometown is Spalmachine, British Columbia. 13 years curling as a property manager. I'm going to say give a shout out to her husband Curtis, the 3 children, Ebony, Marlon, and Connor. Skip of Team Canada is Mark Idison from the Ilderton Curling Club, London, Ontario. 7 years curling, retired, full-time curler. Now I like that. There's a good way to go. Married with 2 kids, Brooklyn and Miles, so a shout out for them. That's Team Canada.
He's a big Blue Jays fan with his hat out there, if you can
All right.
see. Toronto, Ilderton.
Yep.
So
Yep. Well, we used to have the AAA affiliate right here locally in Syracuse, New York, for Toronto.
Yeah, for many
Alas and alack, it is now the Mets affiliate
Yes.
as of next year.
All right, Team Scotland. Lead is Angie Malone from the Brayhead Wheelchair Curling Club, Glasgow. 14 years curling. Occupation athlete. That makes sense?
yeah, my occupation is wheelchair curler.
There you go. Have ice, will travel.
The second is Robert McPherson, known as Bobo. I'll try to remember that during the game. From the Stranraer Ice Rink Curling Club in Bells Hill. 9 years curling. Big football fan. That's soccer for those folks who are in that part of the world. We would say in the U.S. Fan of the Glasgow Rangers. Third is Hugh Shug Niblo. Home club is Castle Kennedy. Hometown is also Stranraer. 5 years curling. Rugby and football fan as well. Also a big fan of the Rangers. And the skip is Eileen Nielsen from the Brayhead Wheelchair Curling Club. And Strathaven, 12 years curling, also full-time athlete. Formerly a primary school teacher. God bless her. That's a
All
tough
right,
job.
the first rocks are off.
Almost simultaneously.
I know, they're all lined up. And it looks like we're creeping into the house with the first one.
So tell us a little bit about wheelchair strategy. Does it change because you don't have sweepers?
Not really. I don't think so.
Just ice. How much ice you take does.
Well, right.
Yeah.
You got to. You don't
For
get
shots, but not for strategy.
You got to play that bend. You know, that curl.
Mm-hmm.
You know, one of the things you don't realize about wheelchair curling, and I've had the chance to spar against some of the members of the U.S. team, is how much you rely on that sweeping. And you guys don't have it, so you've got to take the right amount of ice for these shots.
That's correct. We have to be that much better, I think.
Yep.
I think it's really tough. I sparred against a member of the U.S. team and he pretty much curled the pants off me because he knew how to do all that. He was deadly accurate.
We do a glow spiel in Madison every year, and that's always puts everyone at our level because
You can't see for
they
squat.
can't see for squat. And so we call out the zones, you know, where we want the rock to end up, and give them the broom. They put glow sticks on the stick so you can see where to aim. It's a lot of fun. So it looks like Scotland tried to come around and came up.
Looks like a corner freeze. Was interesting ice for a come around. I almost wonder if it was supposed to be a hit, since they
Well-
came in with blue came in with their first. So who do we have on the blue rocks here? Canada's throwing blue.
Canada's
Scotland's
in blue.
yeah, and Scotland is throwing red.
So it looks like Scotland's going to have the hammer in this end. And they're throwing a takeout. Or is that a freeze?
Regardless of the call, I think we're going to come in with a draw. Ooh, not even that. I wonder if the ice is a bit slow.
It's a little frosty out there.
Mm-hmm. Well, Mother Nature's been tough for the ice makers this fall. We've been hitting 50s in the day and 20s in the night, and I don't know how they keep the ice going.
All right, well, after the first or second in, it'll start to
Oh,
pick
yeah.
up again.
Yeah, the first in is typically a little bit slow at this club.
Yep.
Maybe 22-second ice. Speeds
That's
up very
hog to
quickly.
stop. Yeah, hog to tee.
Yeah.
Couple
Speed-
times down a path, and you're good to go.
And Canada's trying to drop another one in.
This is second Dennis Thiessen.
That's a nice shot. Right on the back of the forefoot.
Gives a little bit of opening for Scotland, though, with that rock behind tee line.
They're just going to get rid of that guard there to open it up. When you have the hammer, you want to keep it open for your last rock to get to the button.
I've got a bad angle. Can you see when the rock crosses hog? We could get some split time.
Okay.
I can't see it.
Here, I'll time it. Yeah.
Give us an idea how it's running.
Again, just a little bit light. Taps that one in.
So we've got 4 national teams that are going to be at the Paralympics coming up in March. Korea, China, Scotland, Canada, and USA. We got USA playing Korea on sheet 4 next door for the B event final.
See, and Korea is throwing Red.
See if I can get the correct house up here. There we go.
Ooh, 14.50. Yeah, almost 15 seconds hog to hog. That's slow.
Zone 2 guard weight.
Yep.
So they're trying to plug that hole, hopefully prevent Scotland from coming in. And we'll see, Scotland's probably going to try to come in through that port this time. But looking good. It's going to bend in right about there.
This one looks like it's got weight.
Just a wee bit
Just
heavy.
a little bit heavy.
Gonna chop off that stone in the back 8.
Can you tell on sheet 5 who's throwing which colors?
The vets are throwing red. So yeah, we have a team of USA veterans that are playing on sheet 5 there. It's always good to have our servicemen and women playing.
Mm-hmm. One of the things that streaming wheelchair games is very similar to mixed doubles is that you don't see the shot calls as much as you would in a standard game where we have skips running around the house thinking with their brooms and the porch shooters trying to figure out what the heck they're going to call.
Well, you can tell by the way the skips motion where they want it to
Exactly.
end up. And
I must be missing them because first several shots it was just, boom, here's the target, go for it. All right, once more. See if we can get through this port.
yeah, the whole 4-foot's still pretty much wide open to drop in there.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're on the back 8. Biting the back 8.
Right.
Yeah, so Scotland still has an out here. This is Shug Niblo with his first.
This one looks like it's running.
A little bit heavy again.
Well, we've been down that path a couple
Yep.
times now.
So that path is probably speeding up.
Oh, wow. Quite heavy. Yep. Block the port.
Canada's sitting only 1, it looks like, though.
Yeah, it looks like just one right
Mm-hmm.
now.
You'd love to drop one just top 4 here
Now, the call is to guard the port.
to cover the port.
Mm-hmm. Right on target.
Yeah, that's
It's going to
the,
over curl.
it might get the bump, might rub it, move over, but it looks a little light to do that.
Right. Well, it's one thing we are proud of here. Our rocks do curl at Utica. And you can see with that weight, that's a full 4 feet of curl.
Well, we get about 6 feet of curl in Madison, but
Yeah, I'll tell you, we've played, unfortunately, too many other places recently where we've gotten 2,
yeah, that's
Maybe.
maybe.
that's a straight takeout.
Yeah.
You can't really get any to drop in behind the guards if
Yeah,
it's not curling.
You wind up playing a tap-up game.
This one's looking good. Nice coming in.
This one's gonna
How's
get
the
by.
weight?
Is
Is it going to be on the? No, it's going to be on the back blue.
Perfect.
Nice shot.
That's going to be shot rock, and that one's not going anywhere.
That still leaves the button open, so there's a chance for Canada to drop one in there to get a point. But there's still 4 rocks left. Skip stones now. And hits off. He's got to readjust.
Now we're seeing interesting heads on some of these sticks that we're not used to seeing amongst our stick curlers in the club. Is this a new development, and where did they come out of? Do you know?
Let's see. It was a device that was started showing up a couple years ago, and it helps the curlers throw the stones with the right turns. It does the turn for you, basically.
Oh, that's nice. It's going to sit right down on top of the red.
Yep.
Still room in there.
Biting the forefoot, or right the button, I guess. It's a big button.
Yes, it is.
So we'll see how Eileen does here. Eileen was on the team when 2014 they won the bronze medal
All righty.
in Sochi, Scotland.
Yep, the ice is starting to creep out just a little bit. We're outside the 8-foot now with the broom.
Yep.
Just into the 12.
That's curling in nice. They're going to get to the inside.
It's going to
here?
get the inside. Yeah.
It is going to get to the inside. Very, very nice shot.
Yeah.
Now the angles favor Scotland.
And they
That-
do have hammer.
That blue rock is the Oreo stuffing.
It's got,
Yes.
got a lot of backing. Yeah.
It does, but with that angle, a nose hit on the red, and the blue should squirt out. So
Yeah, but unfortunately, I think the red bat, they unstuck the backing just a little bit. So the blue rock and the back 4 might,
stick.
might outcount that red one. It depends on how far that rolls, if they smack that.
However, blue is up, so
But currently, Scotland is shot rock. And Mark Idison with his last rock for Canada.
So you either try to come in and not count that, or block it so they can't get more than one.
right. I think at this point you're probably, boy, I don't know if you can curl
I
past
don't
that red.
I don't know if you can get a second one in there.
Yeah.
Always good to hold your opponent to 1 with a hammer, though. So that would be
That's a victory for you.
It
Yep.
sure is.
a good result.
Usually with the hammer you want to get 2, so that's the goal for them. If they only get 1, that's good for the other team.
Math always works. Take 2, force 1. Yeah, that needs to bend. Uh-oh.
There's an opening.
Puts it right on the pin hole, it looks like. So that gives Scotland a chance. Come in on the inside of that blue one to get 2.
This will be a nice, delicate little shot.
Well, if they can curl past the blue, they can come almost right to their own.
I'm not sure you can with the red that's in the top 12. However, you could
Yeah,
tap it on the inside.
Yeah. The red one in the top 12 is a little bit in the way, isn't it?
There's also the redirect over the blue on the top 12.
So you're saying angle raise that blue one into the 4-foot?
No, I'm not. Don't think they've taken the ice for that, unless they're throwing a lot of weight. But possibly just a redirect.
And just to chap off the blue on the top 4 a little bit. Just
Touch it on the inside.
catch it a little thin. Don't want to poke it in.
Here it comes, here it comes. Nope, not
Yeah,
enough.
big
So that
clamp.
looks like 1.
Yep.
1 for Scotland here in the first end.
And our local school kids will clear the house and get the rocks set up for the next end.
Yeah, we really appreciate all the helpers and volunteers and the staff here at the club.
Well, we're glad to have you guys every year. It's a great event.
So in other news, looks like Korea got 3 in the first end versus Team USA on sheet 4.
And Quebec took a 2-0 lead against USA Blue on sheet 2. Sheet 5 still in progress. Down to skip rocks.
Okay, a quick team meeting. Set your goals for the end, I assume, Jim? Is that what usually happens?
Hey, you discuss, you know, hey, we're doing all right, you know, keep this up, or give them a little help for making changes that you need to do, but gets the strategy going for the next end.
Hey, we've got a viewer possibly from Scotland. Kristen Ewan says, go Scotland. Christine, sorry.
Yes, we have a live chat feed going, so if you want to come in, you're watching, you want to talk about something, shots or anything, go ahead.
Yeah, please join in. All right, second end. Canada with the Blue Rocks will have the last rock advantage here in this second end of our USA Open International Wheelchair Final here at the Utica Curling Club. Angie Malone with her first lead rock.
And
Drops it on the top 8.
notice we're all coming down the other side, even out the 2 sides of the sheet. A good hint for all new skips out there,
And nothing worse than having a fast side and a slow side.
especially when you're forced to a critical draw on the slow side.
You bet. Looks like they're going to chase this rock off.
And that falls right into Scotland's plan because that will be a takeout game, limiting them to only getting 1 or blanking.
And nicely done by Angie Malone. And it looks like we're headed for an open end here, unless we get a half shot somewhere.
So I played Canada on day 1, I believe, and we scored 3 in the first end, which was great. We felt really good about it, but then we let them get 3 in the second. So it's a whole new ball game at that
Yes,
point.
it is.
That's why
It's
you
now a
get
6-end game.
That's why you get a 3-point lead, though.
We've all been there, done that, got the T-shirt.
And Scotland freezes with that shot.
Yeah, the freezing to it makes it harder for them to take you out.
I think the call is to tap these around and move that,
Move the blue.
move the blue to the back or up a little bit.
This one's got some weight.
They
Our
were calling for back 4 weight, so I think they're looking to jiggle these up a bit and get some separation.
12 seconds, hog to hog.
And it's just going to set up a nice
Slow,
angle.
yep, slow side of the sheet. Heads up, incoming.
Yep, stones come flying from all directions.
So Bobo McPherson with his first for Scotland. Looks like they're trying to come around the whole shebang here.
You better set up an angle on the blues. Coming around.
Looks a little bit light.
Yep. That's
Something to come around later, though. Now Canada's going to make a move on this top blue now that they got the angles in their favor.
so what Roger and I like to call the Oreo stuffing. Or perhaps we should call it the whoopie pie stuffing shot. Because the middle rock always squirts out. Calling for backline weight.
It's got a curl. Just hit that on the high side. They want to hit that on the low side.
Well, that plays into Scotland's hands there. Now they can just run that red out and knock the blue.
Sit 2.
Looks like we've got an FLB on the backside. Can't tell from our angle if that's in or out. It's definitely in play, but
It's awfully close.
Looks like they're saving that for later. Bring another one in.
Bobo McPherson with second rock descent.
If you notice, he's got a stick holding up that he can hold his balance on. That's a nice device for to give you a little more balance when you're throwing.
yeah, way out there in the slow side.
Yeah, this side didn't get played last time, so it's a wee bit slower. Canada needs to do something with that red stone that's in control of the blue stone that shot rock.
So if they hit it on the side, they can pop it right to the side, out of the play.
Right.
And they should be able to pick it. Don't think it jams. It's a possibility it could jam against the biter.
It looks like it's going to hit it.
Nose. Nope. Take it the other way.
Again,
Nope.
hit it on the outside. Does scatter the
Opens it up.
blue stones. Blues. Canada possibly sitting second and third. Again, that biter may or may not be in play.
It's hard to tell from our angle.
And unfortunately, our overhead cameras are not. Oh, well, on this end, we don't have overhead
This
cameras.
one's not overhead, so.
Yeah.
But it does look very close. Two potential blue counters. Scotland has to go after this rock without hammer.
Oh, and it just misses getting it out.
Didn't get the big curl.
And that plays into Canada's hands because now they can get rid of that red one.
Possibly sit 3.
We'd like to get a little roll here, maybe get under cover. Ina Forrest here, trying to take out Scotland's shot stone. Love to get a little inside roll here.
She's going to get a big inside
Big
roll.
one. That hopefully will stick on the outside 12 foot.
It is going to stick. And Canada now sits 2 or 3 spread.
Yeah, that unknown biter over there.
We won't know until the end is up. Well, we may never know. That we were the CBC or
TSN?
TSN.
Yeah,
Somebody
we're-
with mobile cameras who could go over and shoot it for us and find out.
Well, TSN's busy right now.
Yeah,
showing
sort of.
the Canadian team trials for the Olympics.
It looks like Shug Niblo is going to go after this blue shot rock on the outside.
Looks like it's
Misses.
curling too much. It's
Really
gonna,
hard.
it's gonna go right by.
Aye.
Yeah, that nice fresh pebble out there. Going to really catch some curl.
Yeah, it's important to hit the broom.
You know, it's a simple game, right? Hit the broom, throw the weight.
Mm-hmm. Put the right turn on.
And yet, we all struggle with that.
It's a simple game, but we
Simple, but not so simple. All right, so now Canada has a chance to sit a bundle here. Ina Forrest with her last this end. Third for Team Canada. Trying to draw around,
This
get
one's
under
got,
cover.
as we say, sit boo-boo.
so
Gonna come down nicely.
It's gonna sit just maybe, but just barely halfway over the tee line.
it's pretty well covered, but they can come down to it.
Sure.
Maybe push it back. I don't know.
I'm betting they can see at least a third of the rock.
I think Scotland would be delighted just to freeze onto that rock and
Keep them to one.
cut Canada down this end. They're building up a pretty big park here.
But given where the broom is, I'm not sure that's the call.
Well, we're down to skip stones here. Scotland's got a couple chances to manufacture an out. Looking at 3, possibly 4 Canada stones.
Always a pressure shot when you're going against 3 or 4.
Oh, that's why we pay the skips the big bucks.
Yeah, that's why you're the skip. Is this going to get by? Yeah, it's going to get by.
Yeah, it's going to rub that blue one.
Yep, it's the call was a straight tap back, take out.
So now Canada will get rid of that one.
Canada red? Yeah. No, Canada's blue. They got these stripes.
See the
Yeah, they got this strip.
yeah. You got,
And that stone's wide open, so Canada can take that out. If they roll under again, that could make life very miserable for Scotland with their last shot.
But there's still 2 more stones. Oh, absolutely. You would want this. You would want it to roll behind the red.
Mark Idison with his first here in the second end.
and it looks like Team USA Red came back with a 2 in this end to be 3-2 now with Korea on sheet 4. Going into the third end. Well, they got it. They got it out.
Maybe.
Yep. it
There
just-
she goes.
Just spun out of the rings.
But their shooter rolled, so they're only laying 2 at this point. Maybe 3. Forget about that,
That
biter.
fly, yeah, that.
Oh, he's not. Oh, wow. He's an ice maker. Yeah, I know. He came through and asked a lot of questions about it.
So Eileen Nielsen needs to bury a rock here.
Mm-hmm. Now's her chance to use that guard.
Yeah, I'm going to end up buying one.
You know, she's not coming around the outside because it's so slow, sticky out there.
And that's where I'll start buying.
That's the unknown quantity
Great Britain, South Korea,
for draw weight.
Norway, Sweden. Those are the countries that have been.
So if that biter is in, this is a little risky. Need to stuff this to prevent dropping potential 3 here.
It's
The
gotta
other
be
option
buried.
would be to hit shot stone. That would hold Canada to 1 or 2. But Eileen's going to try to come around here, get a stone buried, and get a force.
Well, looks like she's doing a takeout. She had another
Oh,
other
she is?
turn. She's doing another turn.
Oh, she's going after the biter.
You know, there's another one in front of him. You
I
can't
see.
see.
Oh,
it.
okay.
So she is hitting a rock.
But I don't know if does that have the. Ooh, well, we no longer have a biter. We now
The
have.
biter,
But it did
unknown
jam.
quantity.
Yes,
is
it's
now
gone.
So that jammed.
Nope. Still laying.
2.
So this
Draw
will
for 3.
hit for 3.
Oh, hit for 3.
Yeah.
Excuse me. That's
Gotta
right.
get rid of the red one.
Yep.
So an open hit for 3 here. For Canada's Mark Idison. So Eileen did try to remove a stone and hold Canada to 2, but unfortunately the struck rock jammed on the biter.
Right.
Christine says hi.
We got a shout out to Gregor from Christine. Thanks for watching.
And Christine, we passed along your words.
Last rock, second end. Skip Mark Idison. Trying to remove Scotland shot stone for a score of 3 here.
And it's going to hit it right on the nose and sit for 3.
Boom.
And a big 3 spot for Canada in the second end of our championship final. So Canada takes a 2-point lead going into the third end.
So they got their 3.
So let's update you on the other sheets. So over on sheet 2, if you will bring up the other screen.
Sheet 2 is 2-0 or 3-0 after 2
Yep.
ends.
Quebec leads USA Blue. On sheet 4, Korea got a 1-point lead.
Over
It's
USA.
3-2 after over USA Red. And on sheet 5, we finally have finished the second end, but they have not hung the score. Oh, no, they have not finished the second end. So we're
So 3 skip stones to go on.
right. We'll
on sheet
update
5.
you as soon as we have that score.
So here in the third end, Team Scotland playing the Red Rocks will have the last rock advantage this end.
If I had a hammer.
I'd take 2. All right, that's the theory.
So Marie Wright of Canada leads off.
And with a 2-point lead, they're just going to drop one in, make them chase it.
Well,
And if you want your 2 here, you got to throw a corner guard, right?
Got to throw the corner. Got to get your guards. Or freeze. I don't know what the call is.
looks like they're tapping. Backline weight, back 12 weight.
Coming right into it. See how far, if they get rid of it completely. Yep.
Yep. Another open end.
Still 14 rocks to be played.
A long way to go.
And Canada's just going to get rid of that red one. Plays right into their plan. Keep them to getting only one is the goal.
Well thrown stone by Marie Wright. Angie Malone trying to return the favor.
line looks pretty good.
This one's gonna.
It's gonna curl. It's
curling a little bit.
Might get a little roll, but stuck around. Didn't quite get that one out either.
Pushed it to the back 12. Now Canada has a chance to sit 1 and 2. Dennis Thiessen can bring it. Really nice weight.
Yeah, the more weight you throw, the less it will curl.
Mm-hmm.
So that the last rock that was thrown by Scotland was just a little bit light.
Yeah, it was about 11 seconds hog to hog, maybe hack weight. And Bobo McPherson going after shot rock. They're going to throw this one inside out. This will typically curl a little more than the outside in.
If you notice, his delivery is a straightforward push. It's a little bit different than. Here it comes.
So he's bringing the. Let's wait for the result of the shot.
And it's going to hit it, but
Not a lot of weight.
Looks light.
Just going to tap it. Ooh. So he's delivering from the center line of his body, whereas some curlers will deliver from the side of the chair.
Correct.
Notice the sticks uniformly are much longer than what, when I first started curling, I remember our wheelchair curlers here at the Utica Curling Club using.
They're about 6 to 8 feet, seems. Gives them a little more, push for them.
Yep.
So when the ice is slow, they seem to get more weight on them.
Mm-hmm.
Another very solid takeout by Team Canada.
They're laying 3 right now. But Scotland's got the hammer.
Solid nose hit could take both of these. Now, Tim, as a result of doing the center line push rather than I don't know if there are words
Well,
for it.
I don't know if that. We'll see exactly how he throws, but
Yeah, it looks like he's got 2 hands on the stick from
Right.
behind. Oh yeah, we can see up here. No, he doesn't have 2 hands. But it's definitely
he was holding his pole on the left to keep his body
right. But he's starting from the center
From the
line of his
center,
body. I'm noticing that Canada almost uniformly is coming inside out for their hits.
Outside in, right?
No,
No,
I'm
inside
sorry,
out.
Scotland
Scotland's going inside
going
out.
inside out for their hits.
It's because the ice there is smoother, it's quicker. If you go on the outside end, you're going to be in the frost out there, so it's going to be a little bit slower.
And yet Canada, just the last 2 hits they threw were both outside in. So I wondered if it had to do with the style of throwing that your player uses. Somebody who pushes down the center line of their body, is it easier for them to come inside out versus somebody who's throwing off the side of the wheelchair?
No, I don't think so.
So okay,
Just a different.
style.
Certainly Dennis Thiessen for Canada was throwing a lot of weight, taking some of the curl out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Team USA had a local player that was on the team, Jim.
Jim Joseph, yep.
Yeah,
Jimmy Jam, as he's known locally here.
Jimmy Jam. He should be playing, but one of the teams had to leave to catch a flight back north and didn't get to play this
Oh,
finals game.
I was wondering why we didn't have all sheets.
And they're just trying to drop another one in here.
Freeze right down too.
Ina Forrest with a nice freeze.
So
To
they're
the shot stone.
laying 3 right now.
Take a couple shots to remove all those blue stones on the forefoot.
Yeah, Jimmy Jam was on the national team for USA for the last 10 or 12 years.
There's been at least, I think, one Utica player on the team since the beginning,
Until this year.
until this year.
But then again, our wheelchair program is just Jim and Bob now, so.
This looks like it's going to rub on the red guard.
Well, just
Ooh,
got
just
by.
Just
by.
got by, yep. Now it's sitting in the pocket, laying second count. So blue is still sitting 1. Canada's still sitting 1. And they're going to try to guard that. And that's just going to come.
Do about yay far inside the forefoot, and it's still, yeah.
That prevents them from coming in and taking that blue one out.
Yep, just a guard.
Nice
Just
shot.
fighting the 12-foot. Covered shot rock. There's an angle raise on the Reds.
You can't block everything.
Yep. That's
you-
the
if you hit
beauty of the game.
If you hit that red there, run that red into that red, and that red goes into the blue, and the blue goes out the back. Looks like that's what they're going to throw.
Tell them we got their request and we'll get it at the next break.
And the throw is off, and she might have been a hair outside the Eileen is saying, but it's coming back.
Oh, nice.
Plenty of curl out there.
In fact, it may over curl. No, here she
That
comes.
looks good. Boom, boom. There you go.
And
Wow,
beautifully
nice
done.
shot.
Textbook.
No shortage of curl out there, you got to believe. Now Scotland sits one guarded.
Yeah, that's the thing about curling. It curls a lot, and the skips have to know how much it's gonna curl to give you the right broom.
And the first time you're out someplace, it's a very educated, we hope, guess.
Yeah, there were no practice stones, so you don't really get a chance to see until you start playing.
Which is the nice thing about the Olympics when these teams go off, is they will have a chance to practice.
They get 10 minutes of practice, and what they do is they time it and they figure out what the draw weight, what the takeout, and what the curl is for those shots as well.
So now Canada's probably looking at running their blue stone in, returning the favor. Just off nose center line side. And I mean just off nose, maybe 7/8 of a rock. Canada's going to run that blue stone on the top 12. The guard they just threw into the Scotland shot rock. Mark Idison.
Right down the center line. Oh, a little bit
Ooh,
wide. That one's a
one.
little bit wide.
It's hanging a bit.
And there she
Nice.
goes, right through the house.
He wasn't that far wide, but just enough to hang it on that side of the center line.
So that gives Scotland the opportunity to put another one in.
Deciding how they're going to get another stone in, tap up or draw around. Looks like they're going to play the draw.
So it looks like on sheet 4, Korea scored 1 in the third end. Or to take a 3-2 lead over Team USA Red.
Yeah, it looks like the USA Vets stole another 2 in the second end to go up 3-0 over the USA Stars on sheet 5. And USA Blue got a single in the third end. They now trail Quebec 3-1. To our feature game.
And the draw is off, and they're trying to get it in behind the blue a little bit so they can be buried. But it's a little bit outside, so they're
Stopped above T line though, which is better than going to the back 4 there.
well, it covers the button, so that makes it harder for.
And it's edge on edge with the blue guard. Might be a little tough to get to the inside. Maybe if they throw just tap weight.
Even if they hit that rock, I don't think it will be a counter because that red rock on the other side.
Yeah, I think you're right. You can zoom in. So even if this rock is hit, I don't think that Canada can roll for shot.
But by getting rid of it, it's one less point possible.
Yeah, I think they certainly have to chase it off. Try to make the deuce a little tougher.
Oh, this one's hanging. Is it coming? Here it comes.
Took a little off the weight, I think, and that curled up. It's going to roll away, though, and this will be an open draw
Leaves
for
an
2.
open draw, yep. She just threw this, so see if she can recreate it.
That was about a 9.5 second hit.
As you skip, you love throwing the same shot twice. So she just threw this draw right to the top 4.
Please say hi to my dad, John Doyle.
Which we just did. Let's see what draw weight's running now.
The last rock, third end, Eileen Nielsen. Attempting a draw for 2 here.
She's just got to get in close to the
Close to the 4 foot. Yep.
Just about 12 seconds.
That's going to be a little heavy,
Heavy.
I think.
It's going to be just
Too
peachy.
heavy.
Oh, it dug in.
Wow.
Dug in just in
Yeah,
time,
it's-
I think, and I believe that's going to be a score of 2 for Scotland here in the third end.
Which ties the game up. 3-3.
Good thing we sharpened the rocks. They died just in time. So we're all tied at 3 here after 3 ends of play. Team Canada playing the Blue Rocks will have the hammer here in the fourth end. For those of you watching, these are 8-end games.
Yeah, we've been playing timed games up until this championship round, so we've only gotten 6 or 7 ends by the time with the time limit, but this will be good to have an 8-ender.
Clearly, the games on sheet 2 and 4 still are clipping right along. They're a good 3 to 4 rocks ahead of everybody else.
And Scotland's Angie Malone will lead off this end.
I don't know if you saw it, but Eileen was showing Angie that her line was just a little bit off and she needed to adjust before she threw.
Yep.
That's a part of the skip's job
Yep.
as well.
Absolutely. Now, there's a big advantage that the skip for a wheelchair team has over non-wheelchair teams, because you can line the person up in the hack all you want, but boy,
They may not come out there.
they may not come back out there. We have too many moving parts.
Well placed center guard by Team Scotland.
Canada's probably throwing a corner guard.
And we have a tight, well, that's going to spill into the rings. I say tight corner guard, but that is now a biter in the wings. Skip by Eileen Nielsen. We'll just ignore that rock. They're going to play the come around. Use that center guard.
Yeah, the creation of the free guard zone really changes the sport. You know, it was always, when you didn't have the guards, it was take out, take out.
Take
yeah.
out. And it's going to change yet again next year.
Next
They're
year, even more rocks in play.
Yeah, there's going to be a third guard. So each team will have 3 rocks in the guard zone, possibly.
I've got to think that's going to push strategy to a more offensive style. So that come around came up a bit short, did leave another guard in play for Scotland.
Yeah, they were just trying to block the center, which is good strategy because they don't have the hammer.
And Canada's just going to try to beat them around now, coming around that center guard. Try to lie 2.
That looks like it's going to drop in nice.
Just gorgeous line.
Right on the button.
Going to cover the pin. Just behind T-line.
Yeah, we've got all sorts of different levels of disability out here, which is why the deliveries are a little bit different, as you can see Bobo here. And that some people have to have something to hold on to keep their balance, and some don't. We've got amputees who have full motor control, full lumbar support, you know, different levels of paralysis, which is different mobilities and everything. So that's why you see the different styles in delivery.
And this looks pretty good also. Curling in beautifully.
It's going to sit right on top of that shot rock.
And beautiful shot by Bobo McPherson.
And that will now be shot rock, actually, because it pushed that blue one to the back of the forefoot.
And Mark Eidson immediately goes up to the center guards.
Okay, enough of this.
Enough of that.
Enough of this nonsense. Let's move these. This is the fifth rock. They can start taking those out. It looks like if he hits it right between the two, he can get both of them out of there. And they're only going to get the one. Didn't really change much because they're both on the center.
Change the colors of one of the guards. Chance for Scotland now to draw a second one in. They've got some backing. Our catcher on the back button. You can drop one here, top four, top button. That rock will be hard to remove. Well, Will McPherson's first was a dandy. See if he can throw another one. That one hung a bit, but that weight was absolutely perfect.
As it slides in.
Oh, and that's a great shot.
Can't tell from this angle if blue is second or red is second.
I think Canada is second rock here. But that red stone just thrown by McPherson is in a great position.
And we're getting rid of the guards again. Try to run that back, actually. It looks like that might be the call.
And you certainly have two red catchers. That's right on the noggin.
That's going to knock that red one into the other blue one, but they're both rolled.
Gets one of them off the forefoot. And the stone they ran is in a usable position.
So they're trying to hit that blue one right on the nose to get it straight back and out, and so they don't jam into the red one in the back eight. It's a game of angles.
Always wondered how many curlers played pool.
Oh, it's a you play pool, you figure out the angles, geometry. It's the same thing in curling.
This is looking really nice.
It's gonna jam.
Might jam him.
Oh, there.
Oh, but it gets a gorgeous roll. Almost didn't want to worry about the jam. If you can
Right.
roll 2 under, it's that's a big plus. They got the bonus there, and that they rubbed off the stone.
Mm-hmm. No
So
harm, no
they're
foul.
sitting 3 and 2 behind cover on the 4-foot.
See how he's way up there? You want to clear all that stuff out. Sure. Scotland's 72.
So Shug Niblo with a beauty is going to force Canada to run or open this up again. Looks like they're playing the run back.
It's a little wide. It's gonna.
It might jam that blue right on the red, and it's going to open it up a little bit.
So
Open up the other side. Looks like Scotland needs a well-placed guard here, and he'd be in excellent position to steal. Now, guards are hard to throw on swingy ice, even if you can sweep them.
well, if you want it in the right spot, it's
Yeah. This strikes me as not necessarily an easy shot. When you've got 4+ feet of swing.
Perfect. Nicely played. Great shot. That's an asterisk.
well, that one might.
It's a little tight, but it may stop in time. It looks like a pretty nice shot. Well done. So Scotland's got Canada behind the 8-ball this end. 2 stones on the 4-foot behind a couple guards.
They're going after that blue again, the guard, to try and at least get rid of it, but there's a chance that they could run it into the 2 reds.
Well, at least this time to run it into the reds, they'll lose their shooter, so that it'll open things up even if they miss this shot.
Sit back here. Listen to you get. Oh my God, I'll just sit here and just listen.
So Ina Forrest with her last here in the 4th end. Trying to run this blue stone into the pile.
It's amazing.
And it's a little wide. Jam into the red, but rolls in. So that is now.
Oh, that's about as nice of me. Oh,
Rolled it for a second shot. That'll probably force Scotland to chase it off. And
Which
leave the
will
house open, yeah.
Leave those 2 rocks wide open.
So mission accomplished for Team Canada, and at least getting rid of the guards.
What, hit this one? We hit it here, we're jamming.
Eileen Nielsen with her first here in the 4th end.
2. Go red, you're risking that red jam. And it's a good chance you hit it hard and flop on top of it. We're risking a chance of you hitting it thin. The jam.
Like a nice control away takeout. Is this going to get by the top red?
It looks like it's going to rub just a little.
Just a little light, I think. It over curled.
Opens the door for Canada to pop those 2 red out if they can and sit 2.
Get rid of 1 for sure and sit 2.
Take 3 out. No way to get 3. You can almost come down. Another option. Come down and tap this too.
Does Lizzie Ford curl here at Utica?
Yeah, she does.
So that's 3 wheelchairs.
That's right. I keep forgetting about her. This is her second year. I shouldn't because she plays on Monday night. And I play on Monday night. Same league. Doing well.
Mark Eidson with his first.
Oh, looks a little wide. I don't think it's going to.
Just going to make
Get
contact.
Got rid of the 1 red at least.
Got rid of 1 red, spun away for 3rd shot. So Scotland will have to make 1 here. They need to hit shot rock and sit 1 and 2 to keep from bringing that 3rd stone of Canada back into play.
It's got to be 10, 10 and a half.
Eileen Nielsen looking to, I think, just nose hit 2nd stone in the back 4. Try to sit 1-2 here and get a force. Not a lot of weight on this one.
Whoa. Over curled.
But did the job. So Scotland sits 1st and 2nd.
And
That's a tough double.
Here comes the hammer to get hopefully 1. Don't think they can get them both out. So
And if they hit shot stone, will they be shot rock is the question. They will if they get just maybe a little inside roll.
inside, it'll roll in, be nice. If it hits it head on, it may or may not. We're not sure.
The thin double's there, but it's
That's
for
a lot
2.
of weight. That's peel weight. You got to throw.
That's a ton.
Yes.
Yeah. You'd have to hit a sliver of the top rock to make that shot.
And it's off.
Yeah, it looks like it's over curling already.
Yeah,
Oh boy.
it's
Little down weight. That'll be a steal 2 for Scotland here in the 4th end.
So let's go around the scoreboards. Tim, what do we got on sheet 2?
Sheet 2, we've got Quebec playing. What are they? They are Red
USA,
Rocks.
yeah.
They are Red Rocks, and they are the USA team is playing blue, and they are up 4-1 right now. Quebec is throwing. Oh, I got that wrong. Quebec is blue, so they are up 4-1.
Yes, they have us very confused because USA Blue is throwing the Red Rocks and USA Red on another sheet is throwing the Blue Rocks, just to keep us very confused here. But Quebec is up 4-1 after 4 ends of play.
And then on sheet 4, we've got Korea and USA Red throwing Blue Rocks, and Korea is up 3-2
After 4.
or 4-2, 4-3,
4-2,
4-3.
3 after 4, right.
These scoreboards are so confusing.
But they're so nice for the teams that are playing. You can see at a glance who's ahead. For all you who are watching out there, these are not your scoreboards that you will see on TV or streaming through your ESPN app or however on TSN or however you watch your curling. At most of those major events, they either have electronic scoreboards or they have scoreboards with a total at the far right of the score. We don't have the officials to run up and total up the score after each end, so the numbers that you're seeing in the middle, highlighted in blue, those are the actual points accrued. And the cards that are hung above and below represent the end in which this team scored. And the people hanging the placards have to do a little math. It's a cumulative score. But those of us sitting here can see at a glance that here on our feature sheet that the folks throwing the Red Rocks, which looks like yellow on our scoreboard because usually yellow rocks live on this sheet, are up after 4 ends because that's the highest placard we can see, up 5-3.
And for those of you who still find our scoreboards confusing, think of them as a thermometer,
Yes.
with the numbers in the middle being the score.
Or your temperature.
Your temperature.
Yeah, and the placards indicating the end at which that score was achieved.
So on sheet 5, we've got the USA veterans up 4-0 over the, I believe it's the Cape
Stars.
The Stars.
Right. After 3 ends of play. So back to our feature game. Scotland leads Canada 5-3 after that steal of 2. Canada playing the Blue Stones will have the last rock in this end. A couple guards in play already.
And Scotland's going to drop one in behind that guard. And it doesn't quite make it into the house. It's just short. So it's another guard. I think that was the call to come in, or were they?
I think they were coming around, yep. Just line was perfect. Came up just a little bit short. And now Canada's Marie Wright has a chance to get around first.
They're trying to bump that blue one in. And nice weight, gets it right into the 8-foot.
Poked it out just a little bit.
So they can see about half of that stone. Looks like she's calling for him to come down to it.
The way these rocks curl, you could easily get to that with hack weight and bump it out. The other option is to freeze to it and get control of that rock. One of the basic strategic principles in curling is to keep your rocks above your opponent's rocks. so that you can control them. So Bobo McPherson here with the freeze tap attempt. Looks like that's just going to crash the guard.
Sure. Usually in international competitions at the Worlds, they'll have a fourth in break where they would take 5 minutes and get together and talk about everything and have a snack or whatever.
Right. And the announcers go out and get another cup of coffee.
Yeah.
They were looking to guard that shot stone.
I have
Looked like that over curled a lot. And Scotland has a chance to get at
the
shot stone.
Yep.
Yeah. I notice these players are putting a lot of rotation on these rocks. Is that
That
typical?
doesn't help the stone curl at all. It keeps
Yeah.
it going straighter. So if you got a lot of a spinner, it's going to go straight.
But is it typical to have 5 rotations, 4 to 5, and
2.5 or 3 to 4 is about right. And that one's going to rub on the guard.
Yep.
Open it up at least.
He backed up a little bit, but not enough.
Ooh.
And then by bouncing
luck.
off of that, it added another guard in there and dropped another blue one in.
Just squirted one into the 12-foot. So now Canada is hitting 2.
Canada is red. So it's Scotland sitting 2.
Oh, correct. Yes. No, Canada's blue.
No. I think we may have it backwards. Oh, yes. You're right.
The signs are wrong. That's why that we're looking at.
Oh. I could fix that. We're referring to signs that are viewable to those of us back here in the warm room. They didn't know what the colors they were throwing.
Well, Canada's hitting 3 now.
Yeah, they have a biter in the back 12. So Scotland's going to try to take it, at least hit this one, maybe roll in to be shot.
Looking for a little hit and roll. Behind cover.
Just want to get on the inside half of that stone to roll into towards the button. And
It's going to hang around for shot rock. Well done, and it's behind cover. That's your get out of jail free card there. Canada now will have to open up that corner guard to be able to bring their 2 biters back into play if they want to score a big end here. With three blues in the rings, it would be very tempting to get this opened up, get access to that red stone.
It does look like they're looking at that.
You know, if you play the come around here, you're probably looking at setting up possible deuce. If you open this up,
And they're going
gonna
down to
talk
look
about
at
it.
it. They got to make sure you got the right angles and everything.
I mean, if you open this up, then Scotland can just dump another one in and sit 1 and 2. That takes the end away, potentially. But if you don't open up shot stone, I think it'd be very hard to bring those 3 blues in the rings back into play. I think that's what they're considering here as they decide what shot to call.
Well, they all want to be on the same page, so they know exactly what the shot is going to be. So you don't second guess it. And
Yep.
You got to buy in.
And the whole team has to be comfortable with the risk you're taking either way. I like this call. I mean, you've got a couple good things that can come out of this. If you peel the guard, you're going to force Scotland to throw a second one in. If you make the perfect run back here, double, you could be winding up sitting 3 here.
yeah, it's got to hit that back rock on the side so they both spill out. So they could be sitting 2.
Right. They can make this shot either one of 2 ways. They can hit maybe 7/8 of a rock high or low, anything but a nose, and they might lose both reds.
Well, with that ice, they're not going to hit nose. In fact, they're going to hit it on the inside of center rock.
Depending on the weight.
True.
So we're looking to run this stone in, get rid of that one, get rid of that one, get a double.
Looks like that one's going to stay on the outside. And
Well, a good miss would be to clear the guard.
it's just going to get rid of the guard and roll out. Oh,
And
and
they
that one
jammed it.
banked.
Oh,
Hit it just a little bit too thin, and they caromed off their stone on the top 12. Now Scotland is 1 and 2, touching the 4-foot.
And they're going to try and hit and roll, it looks like.
I think they feel pretty comfortable that the stones on the right-hand side of the sheet can't be removed. At most, one of them.
But with the way it's curling, it is still possible. And that's what she's
Yeah,
going to
now-
try to cover.
Now they're thinking about guarding. I think if you're sitting 1 and 2, guarding is a good call. If you have lonely shot rock there, I think you're begging to get another stone in somewhere. So Shug Niblo is going to be asked to throw a guard here. He's out in the tall grass. It's going to be pretty sticky out this way. You put some weight on that.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to go
No.
in.
No,
That's a guard
it's
weight.
pretty
Let's
sticky.
get over.
It's pretty sticky. You put the right weight on that. Look at that curl.
But it does the
That-
job.
That does the job for sure. Good adjustment by Scotland's third on the weight. Throwing out in the weeds. Put a guard in play.
A score update on sheet 2. It looks like Quebec scored 2 in the 6th end, or the 5th end, to take a 6-1 lead over USA
blue.
Blue.
Oh, no, maybe not. It made it by. Now check up.
Drop it in,
Check up.
and that's a beautiful draw.
It sits. Beauty.
And that shot back 4.
So Canada snuck one in.
Beautiful shot by Ina Forrest. Gets Canada out of trouble. They're now shot rock. Aileen Nielsen now has to follow that down.
Yeah, with all those guards they put up, there's not really a run back. And the whole 4-foot circle, the button is open, so they can, if she can drop it in there. And she saw the line that they just used. It's important to pay attention to where the other team holds the broom for shots in case you have to follow it down. And she might be a little bit light.
Leaves the door open here. Chance for Mark Idison now to drop one in and set up a deuce or better.
Looks like they're just going to guard that hole. I don't know if it's going to make it in.
Oh, yeah. In fact,
Might be a little deep.
Deep, yep.
Made a big pocket in the back four. Now there's a chance for Scotland's Aileen Nielsen to drop one into that pocket and force Canada to one. If you place this top button, you might even get a steal here. Definitely want to make sure you outcount those blue stones, though.
Yeah, you want to be in the, pretty much on the button. And then when if they try to tap you back, I don't think they can get shot.
So yeah, there are plenty of backers. Perfect shot here would be top button buried, but if you're going to miss this shot, you want to come on to the back blues. So ideal spot would be right here.
And George's son here asking if we're playing 6 or 8 ends, and this is an 8-end game, so that was the response for that.
And just a little heavy and wide, and now this opens the door for a score of 3. They can come right to their own in the back. So Mark Idson here with a chance to grab a big 3 spot here in the 5th end. And grab the lead.
Oh, it looks a little bit wide, but might come back with the curl.
oh yeah, no worries. Does he have the weight?
Oh, look at that bend in.
Nice.
Man, that's a Oh,
He pushed one out
looks
too
like a
far.
2.
That's only going to be a deuce, just a wee bit heavy.
Well, that looks like that ties the game up. So we're tied going into the 6th.
So with 5 in the books of our 8-end game. On sheet 2.
So going into our critical 6th end here, a tie game, but Scotland will have the hammer here in the 6th end. You'd like to have that last rock advantage and it even ends late. Potentially Scotland will have 2 hammers to Canada's 1 now coming home. Job number 1 here in the 6th end of an 8-end game is to make sure you score if you have the last rock.
So I missed the shot since I was answering the damn phone. Joyce, as usual. What happened to Scotland's last row?
Bumped themselves back.
No. I'm sorry.
England.
That was
Or
Canada.
Canada, yep.
Oh, no, wide and heavy, correct.
And that looks like a hog. Somebody didn't quite get it over the line. So that stone will be removed.
And this is a free shot for Scotland. They can dump one on the side of the rings or throw a corner guard, depending on what their goal is this end.
And that one's going to creep into the house.
And that's in a nice spot. Right on T-line. Hard for the other team to use that. Hit and roll would take them to the back of the house. Looks like Canada is going to chase this rock. Oh, no, sorry.
They're
throwing
putting
center
up a guard. They're putting up a
Okay.
guard.
Couldn't tell from the broom which way they were
Well,
going.
if they chase, it's going to be an open end again.
Yep.
Right.
They
That's
want
not
to
in
get
their favor.
They want to try and get one.
So center guard in play. As Canada does need to get some stones in play for steal or force this end. If Scotland scores, they take control of the game with 3 ends to play here. Out that center guard in play. Lead Angie Malone will try to come around and sit 2. Curling in really nice.
A very nice shot. That's going to be right on the center line behind the guard. Canada's going to try and draw on top of that one just thrown.
And the idea here being you want to get a good second rock here to cut down the scoring area. Also count out that rock on the in the wings. And if you get on top of the shot stone, you can control it later.
And
A lot of rocks to play.
Korea just scored 3 against Team USA Red to take a 7-3 lead after 5 ends. And that one just was a little bit light and bumped the guard a little bit, setting up a second guard
All right.
covering.
So, well, they're well guarded now for a steal, but you got to be the one behind.
And Scotland can just come around again.
And this one's going to be a little bit of a guard on the outside to prevent them from coming down to that red one. Well played.
Covers the draw path to shot rock. Now Canada will try the other side of the sheet. It is possible to get buried back button, back 4. And that would be for shot rock.
It's going to crash on the blue, it looks like. Didn't quite get around a little bit light. So if it was a little more weight, it might have stayed out there and come in.
Looks like there's plenty of room even to draw in here. They're going to plug the hole. Skipping Lee Nielsen asking for a guard here to cover shot stone.
One advantage from throwing from the center like Bobo did is that you have a straight line to the broom, whereas when you're leaning to your right or left, depending on your,
Oh, it's coming through the board.
it's harder to line up with the broom.
Nice guard.
It's going to be a nice guard for,
And that's exactly what they called. That'll work. Cuts off the draw path.
so they're going to try to raise that blue one.
Take out or raise. Skip, you want to be prepared for
With hammer, I wouldn't have minded coming right in with that stone. Sit 3.
and what
Canada makes this angle raise. It'll be tough to get it out. So Canada design a forest with first looking to angle raise this blue stone into shot rock.
Oh, exactly.
Well, and it looks like it's going to hit it.
Like it might angle right into the red this way.
No. And it pops into the red, pushes that to the
Not enough, though.
back of the 4, still shot, but it's exposed.
And they've cut down the scoring area considerably now. And that blue rock that was just raised will be very hard to remove now. It's sitting behind quite a pile of granite.
Four in the queue and one up.
So the
We're still not even at places.
Scotland's going to try and cover the shot rock now because it is open. Prevent Canada from taking it out.
Trying to over curl. A little bounce here would be nice. And they get it.
So it's a nice guard. There is a chance they could hit that red rock on the 8-foot on the inside and bump that blue one or the shot rock out.
You can throw some weight here. There is a double. Ina Forrest with her second.
Well, you can, but that guard on the 4 foot is kind of wide. You have to throw weight, lightweight. This is coming in. Looks pretty good. It's coming in.
Just going to go right through the hole, it looks like.
Through the whole field goal.
And if this were football, that would be 3 points, but
And now they just
Rattled them around a bit, but Scotland is still shot now in the back four.
that was a good try.
So the question is how to get two.
A little bit more
Need to
weight.
draw around this red corner.
More weight. More ice. See? Oops, you need to get up.
oh,
So we're looking to draw around the corner to the 4 foot to get your two. Now, Team Scotland's going to talk this over a bit.
it's a big moment.
They need to make sure they get their one this end. Stay in control of the game. You want to be up after 6 ends of play, even ends late.
Well, they've got the hammer in the 6th. If they get a score now, they'll give the hammer away in the 7th and hopefully have the hammer in the 8th, which is the final end.
Right, coming home, either tied or down 1, which would be, either one would be a reasonable spot to be in. One of the things they need to think about is that Canada can run that tap up again, just like they did before. So the question is whether you do something about that tap up or you just draw a second one in here. It looks like they're going to play the draw. So you're saying these are timed games?
Yeah, this is a timed game. I'm sorry we said that earlier it was going to be an 8-end game, but the bell was just rung, which makes this the last end.
And the guard attempt comes up short. Still tough to get to the stone on the back four, though. And Canada has this double raise.
Yeah, they've got to make an angle raise to get that blue one onto the.
Just to bump this one up a little bit. We can take a look at our near house. Want to come down to this stone. Push that back onto that stone and back. That's an option. Looks like they're setting up for a takeout, so they're thinking about doing this.
So we're going to try to hit this on the inside and swing over and knock that other red rock on the back 8 or back 4 out. That seems to be the plan. They're both two difficult shots, the angle raise or the double takeout.
This is a relatively flat double, although they don't have to move the rock on the back 4 very far. They just need to move it into the 8-foot circle.
Down to skip rocks now. It looks like it needs to curl to get the inside. It's going to hit it straight on the nose and jam into the back blue.
So Team Canada will still be left with this double raise with their last. Or they could play the end off again in their own blue. They've got a couple of options. So Canada has a couple of options with their lasts, and the question is, what is Scotland going to play to cover? It looks like they're going to play either the guard or the come around.
It still would be a tough draw to get it into the 4-foot to outcount that red one.
I think so, but I think Scotland is going to play this guard, and that leaves Canada with two possible ways in. And the shot's away.
Looks a little light.
And again, just out in the weeds there, not adjusting to the weight.
So that's $1 for the hog fund.
Yep, another $1 goes in the pig. Now Canada's got a couple of choices here. So choice one is, again, this double tap. Choice two is the end off, and it looks like they're going to go for the end off here. Coming off their own stone to try to push the Scotland shot stone off of the back of the 4-foot.
Well, we'd like to thank everybody for tuning in and watching us today. Appreciate it. We've got some great teams out here. And this one's coming in, and it looks like it's going to hit it right on the nose. And hands are being shook, so that will be the final.
Make it 6-5 for Scotland.
And the other scores, we've got USA Stars 2, USA Vets 4, Korea 7, USA Red 3, USA Blue 1, and Quebec 7. So
Looks like the only remaining game is the Stars and the Vets. With the Stars leading 5-4 after 5. Well, thanks everyone. Thanks Tim for helping out
no
today.
problem. Thank you for having me.
Yep. It was a great final. Congratulations to Team Scotland for winning this 2017 U.S. Open International Wheelchair Bonspiel. Congrats also to Team Canada for being our runner-up. And a great game. Thanks a bunch, guys.